Distinguished Chairman Chen Yuan, Distinguished Vice Mayor Jin Wei, and Chairman Shang Fulin, distinguished officials and guests, good afternoon. Welcome all of you to be here at the closing ceremony and a special event on the 30th anniversary of the Financial Street construction. I myself is from the partner of the official media partner, CGTN. I myself is from CGTN, and with the great support of the co-organizers and the sponsors, and with the great support of all the participants and the financial institutions, the 3-day 2022 Financial Street Forum Annual Conference successfully completed its agenda. The forum has further enriched its content and forum planning, and further improved and optimized the specification and the composition of guests. Nearly 400 top guests worldwide have conducted in-depth discussions around financial hotspots, presenting cutting-edge ideas and international experiences on various sectors and condensing more wisdom and strength for the real economy of financial services to achieve high-quality development. The positioning function of the Financial Street Forum as an authoritative platform for national financial policy publicity and a platform for benign interaction between finance and real economy, for China to participate in global financial governance, and for international financial exchanges and cooperation has been further highlighted. First, I'm going to please allow me to introduce you the guests and the leaders present here today. Here, Mr. Chen Yuan, Vice Chairman of the 20th CPC National Committee, to present here, present online, and Vice Mayor of Beijing Municipality, Mr. Jin Wei, and Chairman of the Committee on the Economic Affairs and members of the Standing Committee of CPPCC, and the former Chairman of China Banking Regulatory Commission, Mr. Shang Fulin. Deputy Secretary of the Party Committee, President China Life Insurance, Mr. Cai Xiliang. The Chairman of National Institution for Finance and Development, former Vice President of CAS, Mr. Li Yang, and Director of Beijing Municipal Bureau of Local Financial Regulation and Supervision, Ms. Li Wenhong. Secretary of the Party Committee of Xicheng District, Mr. Sun Shuo. Welcome. District Mayor and Deputy Secretary of Party Committee of Xicheng District, Mr. Sun Dongwei. Welcome. Chairman of Beijing Stock Exchange, Mr. Zhou Guihua. Welcome. Secretary of Party Committee and Chairman of Bank of Beijing, Mr. Huo Xuewen. Welcome. We also have the DDG from WTO, Mr. Zhang Xiangchen, and Ms. Hedwig Nuance, Managing Director of International Banking Federation, and a member of the Party Committee, Vice President of ICBC, Mr. Zhang Weiwu, and President of UBS China and Chairman of UBS Securities, Qian Yujun, who are going to present online, and they are going to give the remarks and the speeches. We also have the friends from the national financial authorities, financial institutions, real economy, and research institutes, and media. And let's have a warm applause to welcome all of you to be here. Thank you. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the development of the Beijing Financial Street. In the last 30 years, we've seen that the efforts has been made by the countless builders, and Financial Street has been built into a world-class financial district with a forest of high-rise buildings, beautiful environment, complete functions, different institutions and talents being gathered here, reflecting ancient city features and modern civilization. It has developed into a national financial management center, integrating decision-making, supervision, standard formulation, asset management, payment settlement, information exchange, and international cooperation functions, and also become a miniature and symbol of China's reform and opening up and modernization. Distinguished guests, now we are going to enter into the speech session for the opening remarks. And now I would like to give the floor to Mr. Chen Yuan to give the online speech. Let's enjoy the video. Distinguished officials and guests, and ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good morning and good afternoon. I myself is very glad to present at the closing ceremony of the annual meeting of the Financial Street, and also the 30 years anniversary of the founding of the Financial Street. We've already seen the beautiful landscape has been drawn out after the 20th National Congress of CPC. We are going to follow the instruction and to provide the high-quality development, and that has laid a very clear foundation direction for us to further develop ourselves. And currently, all the members of the party is learning the 20th report and the spirit of the 20th National Congress of CPC along the direction of the guidance of the General Secretary of the CPC, and we are moving toward the second centenary goal of building a modern socialist power in an all-round way. With the theme of striving to share the economic development and financial cooperation under the changing situation in the future, many guests have been invited, and they are from international economic and financial organizations, domestic and foreign financial regulatory departments, well-known financial institutions, and media circles. They have all here to demonstrate a feast of ideas to the world after 3 days of wonderful and professional exchanges and discussion, achieved very fruitful results and fully demonstrated the huge achievement of China's financial reform and development, demonstrated the China's firm attitude of persisting in opening up to the outside world, and the strength and the responsibility of promoting global economic development, effectively exerted a national financial policy publicity authority release platform and a sound interaction platform between the finance and the real economy. The countries participate in a global financial governance generation platform and the role of international financial exchange and cooperation platform. I would like to express my warm congratulations on the successful convening of the annual conference of the forum. And this year is also the 30th anniversary of the construction and development of the Financial Street. In the last 30 years, we've seen the very big fruits generated, and especially we have the seminars on economic and social development strategies of the district has been exerted very big influence to the development of the financial streets, and today's financial street has changed its appearance and it's full of vitality. Today, this special historical point, looking back on the road we have traveled and looking ahead, we will have more insights. I have been working in Xizheng District and the Beijing Municipality since 1982. After 1988, I worked at the China Development Bank and People's Bank of China. I am lucky to witness the historical changes of the financial industry. In 1985, the Xizheng District Party Committee and the district government had a seminar on social and economic development strategies, and which was attended by 270 experts, scholars, and theoretical professionals from relevant departments of the from Beijing. We have all gathered together to talk about the function positioning of Xizheng District and put forward the idea of taking the old city transformation as the key point and doing a good job of urban planning and doing a good job of economic construction. In 1992, Xizheng District submitted a request to the municipal government for the resumption of the development and construction of the financial street in the east side of the West Second Ring, which was approved by the municipal government in the same year. In 1993, the State Council approved the Beijing Urban Master Plan from 1991 to 2010, which officially stated that between Fuchengmen and Fuxingmen, there will be the National Financial Management Center be built in this area. From 2016 to 2035, Beijing's Urban Master Plan was approved by the Central Committee and State Council in 2017, further clarifies the position of the National Financial Management Center of a financial street. After several generations of hard work, today's financial street has been built into a world-class financial district with a forest of buildings and beautiful environment, complete functions, gathering institutions and talents here. The ancient city features and the modern civilization are all being demonstrated on the street. It seems to be very common and looks easy, but actually there was a difficult path. Financial street has come all the way. Every step is not easy, and every step has been gathered the hard work. The achievements of Financial Street are the results of the strong leadership of the CPC and the hard work of the countless Financial Street people. And it is a miniature of the development of this great era. As the National Financial Management Center, Financial Street has witnessed the magnificent reform of China's financial sector and bearing the dreams of the Chinese decision makers in financial sector, and also it has the responsibility and the mission to serve the national development. The great achievements in the construction and development of Financial Street not only demonstrate the advantages of socialism with Chinese characteristics, but also continue to inherit and develop the pioneers' responsibilities and courage, not only outstanding but fruitful results of innovation and development. Ladies and gentlemen, dear comrades, 30 years of magnificent development and a new journey urges people to forge ahead. The great changes have not occurred in the world in a century ago, but now they are accelerating the evolution. And the changes of the world, of the times, of the history are more obvious. Throughout history, the rise of great powers has always been marked by the prosperity of finance. Today, China is increasingly approaching the center of the world stage. More than ever, we need to build a national financial management center with a more powerful function. Standing at a new starting point, we hope that Financial Street will continue to carry forward its fine traditions and always maintain its pioneering spirit, great momentum, working style, and cherish the great people of the country and courageously shoulder the mission of the times and constantly enhance the political and its professional nature of the financial work and to serve the people. We will continue to deepen the financial supply side structural reform, continuously improve our ability to serve the real economy and follow the path of financial development with Chinese characteristics, and contribute financial strength to building a modern socialistic country in an all-round way and advancing the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. Finally, I wish full success of the financial forum, and I wish a greater achievements of the financial sector. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chairman Chen Yuan. Now let's give the floor to DDG WTO Zhang Xiangchen to give us the remarks through videos, please. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I'm very glad to be here in the closing ceremony of the 20th of the annual meeting of the Financial Street. I'd like to express sincere congratulations to the convening of the conference, and this year is also the 30 years for China to expand the reform and opening up, and Chinese economy and the trade has been made very big achievements. And this event is an opportunity for us to review the history and to discuss the experiences and the challenges and directions of the future. And this is also of great significance for us to go into a new chapter of Chinese economy. Over the past 30 years, I have been working in the foreign trade and economic work, and has been fortunate to participate in the negotiations of China's accession to WTO. I'm used to be responsible for the implementation of the WTO rules at home for a long time and witnessed the process of China's trade and financial opening up. After I took office as DDG of WTO, I focused more on the new developments in the fields of international trade and finance. Here, I'd like to share a few observations on trade-related financial issues. First, trade is the frontier of finance, and the development of trade has opened up a new space for financial development. Finance is escort of a trade, and financial can guarantee the trade to be stable and to develop for a long time. And
Okay, so when in the past, when our ancestors invented money to solve the exchange problem, and it was the emphasis of finance, and after that, with the growth of trade, the financial industry started to continue to develop, and the scope, form, and function continue to evolve. Wherever the trade developed, the finance extended. In order to meet different trade needs, different financial services have been derived. In a modern society, finance has become the infrastructure for economic and social activities. And China's opening up to the outside world has taken the lead in trade, and the development of trade has led to the development of finance. Due to the need of import and export trade, Chinese financial institutions interact with foreign countries and are also in line with the needs for the foreign economic cooperation and investments. Because of the needs for the foreign economic cooperation and investment, Chinese financial service providers have gone abroad to the international market. As a result of joining the WTO and the opening up of China's financial market to the outside world, and China have learned from its foreign counterparts and have also, during the process for the development from a major trading country into a huge trading power, China's foreign sector have been largely increased and have rapidly upgraded. In many areas, especially in the fintech, it has begun to take the lead in the international world. And its active and effective financial services has played an important role in ensuring and promoting the foreign trade. During the period of economic growth, financial institutions provide timely in financing and credit to production and trade enterprises to help them better invest in production and trade. And in times of economic difficulties and challenges, the timely adjustment of financial policies can help the enterprises alleviate the difficulties, overcome the difficulties together, and welcome new development opportunities. At the same time, production and trade are a solid foundation for the development of the financial sector. Although some developed countries with mature and stable economies have taken the path of the deindustrialization in the past few decades, and the proportion of the financial sector in the national economy has been greatly increased in some developed countries. However, for the majority of the developing countries, especially the emerging economies with rapid economic growth, they still take the manufacturing and the finance industries in the same important position. Without manufacturing or the real economy, finance will become a castle in the air. For a government, coordinating the relationship between production, trade, and finance is an important and essential target for realizing the mutual promotion between the two. And second, finance does not only serve for production but also serves for the trade. It is also an important wealth creating sector as an important part of international trade. It is estimated that a financial services export accounts for 11% of the global service sector in 2019, second only to travel services and transportation services, and is similar to the exports of telecommunications, computers, and information services. In some developed countries, these financial industry have even become a pillar industry of the economy. Therefore, the WTO is very concerned about the opening of the financial service market in various countries and hopes to reduce the trade barriers in this field and promote the development of international investment and import and export in the financial sector. Under the existing WTO market access framework, the number of open areas in financial services ranks the second, only after tourism. More than 80% of the WTO members have made the market opening up commitment in at least one financial services sector. A quarter of the members are fully open to the bancassurance and other financial services. In the future, the WTO will continue to promote the market opening in the financial service sector in order to increase the diversity of the choices for enterprises and the people to enjoy financial services, improve the convenience, and reduce service costs. We encourage the WTO members to take a more positive attitude in negotiation on a market access for trade and services, including the exchange of financial opening up and opening up of financial service markets, and realize a higher level multilateral opening agreement at an earlier state. It should be pointed out that opening up the financial market does not mean regulating or deregulating. And opening up the market under the framework of the WTO does not prevent a country from taking necessary regulatory measures to protect its consumer interests and maintaining the health and stability of its financial system. In many cases, the commitment to opening up markets within the framework of WTO is simply to legalize the market opening up measures already being implemented by countries through international agreements, thereby increasing policy transparency and predictability. Third, I want to continue to emphasize the importance of improving trade finance and we know that promote the availability of the trade finance is the direction that WTO has been working on. New challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic have disrupted the global supply chains in the past few years, making this issue even more prominent. 80% of the global trade requires short-term trade financing, including the credit, insurance, and guarantee. However, in the majority of the developing countries, especially the least developed countries, it is very difficult for the enterprises to obtain trade financing. And the proportion of the small SMEs as well as the female-led enterprises receive a very small proportion of financing. According to our investigation and a survey, and the turning down rate for the trade financing of the SMEs is 45%, and the similar data for the female-led SMEs is as high as 70%, and as a result, about half of the transactions without financing are eventually abandoned. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the cost of the trade financing rose high. Last year, the cost for operating capital of global enterprises rose by an average of 30%, and that number for developing countries even rose to 60%. The gap in global trade financing reached 1.7 trillion US dollars, and the contribution of the multilateral development banks can approximately provide about 35 billion US dollars per year, which is just a drop in the bucket for the overall gap. And the lack of access to finance is one of the major obstacles to the participation of the developing countries' enterprises in international trade. We call on corporate financial institutions, government, and international organizations to strengthen consultations and cooperation to explore issues that solve the difficulty of trade financing. We call on financial institutions, especially policy banks, to step up efforts in trade financing and explore ways to make the use of the S&T innovations such as the digital technology, blockchain, and supply chain evaluation to solve the problems of the fund shortage, missing credit systems, and high costs. At the same time, we should also strengthen our training for the developing countries in terms of their enterprises and financial institutions, enhance and improve their understanding of the trade financing to help the enterprises to better meet the various conditions for financing, and enable local financial institutions in various countries to better meet the international compliance requirements. Finally, I would like to emphasize that globalization, after developing to this day, finance is not only an infrastructure to help enterprises to complete economic and trade exchanges. It is the most important tool to achieve the best allocation of the resources in the whole society. Human society is facing unprecedented common changes, such as a climate change, digital divide, and the public health crisis are becoming increasingly urgent. These problems require the coordinated actions by various countries. And trade and finance are the indispensable factors among them. And in Geneva, green inclusiveness and sustainable development have become the new themes of trade. The WTO is working together with governments of various countries to promote a number of initiatives, including expanding the trade in environmental products and services, research and coordinating the country's carbon emission policies, promoting the development of the circular economy, reducing fossil energy subsidies and the plastic pollution, removing digital trade barriers, improving the ability of the SMEs to participate in international trade, helping women to participate in international trade, and improving their social and economic status to eliminate gender inequalities. All these measures also require the financial sector to work together to guide the resources in the directions. Therefore, trade, finance, and other economic sectors should strengthen their dialogue and work together to meet the common challenges of the human society. That's all for my speech. Thank you very much. Okay. I would like to thank Director Zhang Xiangchen for his wonderful speech. Now let's have Mrs. Hedwig Lawrence, President of the IBF, to deliver a speech online.
My name is Edwige Nayens. I'm the Managing Director of the International Banking Federation. It's a great honor for me to speak at the closing ceremony of the annual conference of the Financial Street Forum 2022. I send you my heartfelt congratulations on the 30th anniversary of the founding and development of the Beijing Financial Street. I'm sure this conference was once again a great success. The International Banking Federation was formed in 2004 to represent the combined views of its national banking associations. We represent Federation of Banks from the United States, Canada, Europe, Japan, Australia, South Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia, Korea, India, and also the China Banking Association here present. The International Banking Federation strongly believes that banks play a crucial role in supporting and promoting economic growth. The capacity of banks to finance the broader economy is key in this respect. We support the efforts of our members to remain leaders in serving their customer needs, looking into the opportunities and challenges of digital banking and new technologies. We help our members to demonstrate their economic and social contribution, hereby addressing the varying expectations from public authorities and public opinion, while preserving their key role in providing financial services on a sound basis. I would like to illustrate this with the important topic of climate change. At COP26, 190 plus nations agreed to boost the rate of their greenhouse gas emission cuts. Financial institutions committed to align 130 trillion billion of private capital with the goals of the 2015 Paris Agreement by 2050. That agreement called for limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius over pre-industrial levels. 1 year later, where does the banking industry stand? To find out, the International Banking Federation and Deloitte surveyed 39 bank executives and directors from Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and North America. We also interviewed representatives of 9 banks, 10 banking associations, and 1 international organization. The results are reflected in a report that is publicly available on our website. Environmental, social, and climate-related issues are materially impacting all sectors of the economy. Real economy sectors are busy finding ways to decarbonize their business according to net zero commitments and related transition plans. While governments, governmental agencies, and carbon-emitting industries need to drive effective solutions to climate change, banks, as financial intermediaries and central players of any economy, play an important role in supporting the transition of their clients in different real economy sectors. Indeed, in their transition strategies, banks must consider not only the transition of their own operations, but more importantly, the emissions of their financed activities as well. Financed emissions represent around 75% of the carbon footprint for banks and are extremely difficult to measure. Nevertheless, they are an opportunity for banks to play a pivotal role in reaching net zero throughout the economy. To fulfill their roles of financial intermediaries who can support the transition to climate neutrality, banks are increasingly evaluating business opportunities, risks, and ways to support and accompany clients on the journey to climate neutrality. Along the way, they are reviewing their own operating and business models to ensure that climate-related matters are adequately addressed in their own operations, as well as in their financing activities and engagement with clients. Banks must pay close attention to how capital is redirected and to the risk of potentially stranded assets that have or will be suffering from unanticipated or premature write-downs, evaluation, or conversion to liabilities. Considerations on stranded assets will play a significant role in the transition to climate neutrality of lending and investment portfolios. The success of the transition depends on a collaborative, cross-sectoral, and cross-institutional approach to solutions that could benefit everyone. We hope that the banking representatives who shared their observations with our research team inspire all who wish to progress on their own journey to a low-carbon future. With our report, the International Banking Federation and Deloitte aimed to shed light on the structural differences that banks face in the transition to climate neutrality by jurisdiction, sector, business model, and more. We explored what is driving banks to commit to climate neutrality, the strategies they have adopted, and the progress they have made so far. We also shared bank executive views on the challenges and priorities they see ahead of them, including how they can work together and with governments on a unified response to decarbonizing the global economy. Our report concludes that 5 things are important to meet the goal. First, commitment. There is major agreement across the world on the need to transition to climate neutrality, with timelines varying across countries. Second, responsibility. Worldwide, banks understand and confirm they have a role to play in the transition to climate neutrality. Third, new banking services and strategies. Transition plans and strategies vary among the banks we heard from. While some trends like engagement strategies and dialogue with clients are coming into sharper focus, other trends will likely emerge in the future as the ecosystem continues to mature. Think investment in carbon offsets or the development of new products and services. Fourth, collaboration. Banks are key to transition, but only one among many moving parts in a national, regional, and global ecosystem. To be successful, banks will need continued cross-sectoral collaboration, support from the public sector, harmonization of methodologies, and global approaches and improvements of data availability in all jurisdictions. Fifth, agility. The banking sector and its ecosystem should remain ready and agile to adapt to possible future unexpected disruptions so it can achieve climate neutrality over the long term. Our report gives a spotlight to the energy crisis, but other related crises may arise or already be enacted. Resilience becomes the key to keeping the climate transition on track. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, President Hadgaway. And now we'd like to give the floor to the member of the Standing Committee of CPC Beijing Municipal Committee and the Vice Mayor of Beijing, Mr. Jing Wei, to give the opening remarks. Distinguished Chairman Chen Yuan and Chairman Shangfu Lin, President Li Yang and President Xi Liang, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, this afternoon's activity is not just the closing event, a closing ceremony of the annual forum, Financial Street Forum, but also a chance for us to review the development of Financial Street in the last 30 years. In 1992, Beijing municipal government has approved the application for building Financial Street. In 1993, it is officially approved by the State Council to set up this area in the West Second Ring in Fuxingmen and Fuchengmen, to build it as the National Financial Center in the last 30 years as the very important gateway for financial sector in China. It has witnessed a splendid journey for the development of financial sector in Beijing and China. They are also have carried out the dreams and realized the dreams of all the participants. And also it has helped our vision for further opening up of China. Since the 18th Party Congress of the CPC, President Xi highly paid attention to the financial position in the different sectors and for many different times. It has made very important instructions. He said that we should focus on serve the real economy, prevent the financial risks, and deepen the financial reform to promote the economic and financial sound interaction and healthy development. And the report of the 20th National Congress of CPC stressed that we should build a modern central bank system, strengthen and improve the financial supervision, focus on the stability guarantee system for the financial sector. And all the financial activities will all be supervised and monitored to make sure there will be no systematic financial risks happening. The General Secretary Xi's deployment to the financial sector has showed very clear direction for the development future for the financial sector. And the activity we're having today, the annual conference of the Financial Street Forum, is the first financial and professional activities after the conclusion of the 20th National Congress of the CPC. Its scale and has been the top around the similar forums in China. This is closely follow the current trend and looking forward to the future. At the same time, it with the theme of the development under the changes. And we also have seen the presenting of the officials and to give the opening remarks. And they also thought that we should focus on the high standards and to give full play of the modern financial sectors in line with the position of the capital. The Vice President of IMF and the president of international financial banks have given the video remarks, and they have proposed the risks of the financial sector has been increasing, and all the countries should very well use the financial sectors and to come out with the very good cooperation to realize the sustainable and continuous development. We also have seen President or Chairman Yi Huiman, Pan Dongsheng, they all have given a very wonderful keynote speech, and they shared their ideas about implementing the spirit of the 20th National Congress of CPC, deepening the financial reform and going on the path of the financial development with Chinese characteristics, including improve the currency system, monetary system, deepen the financial reform and strengthening the supervision and strengthen the stability of the system. The policy signals and the reform signals has been released from these remarks. 350 speakers, both home and abroad, has shared their ideas based on their own specific topics. So it helped us to learn about the latest trend and ideas in different aspects. Under the complex situation of the world, all the countries are participating in the international financial governance landscape, focusing on our own quality development. The Financial Street Forum is the national level's platform for the publicity of the national policies and the interaction platform for the finance and real economy, and a platform for China to involve in the international governance, and a platform for the exchanges among the international sector. This forum, annual conference of the forum, has the hybrid version. We have received the support of the financial institutions and relevant authorities. And here, on behalf of the organizing committee of the annual conference, I'd like to sincerely thank the organizers and undertakers, PBOC, the Xinhua News Agency, and CBIRS and the CSRS. So I would also like to thank the China Development Bank, ICBC, Bank of China, the CCB and ABC, the Beijing Stock Exchange, and the Pension Insurance System, and the Beijing Financial Court, the Beijing Tsinhua's Financial School, these several partners of the annual conference. I would also like to thank Beijing administration for the local financial administration, the Xicheng government, and I would also like to thank all the colleagues and friends who involved in the preparation of the forum. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, currently we are in a period of the changes which haven't been seen for 100 years. So how to make sure the financial sector can better serve the real economy and to help the economy realize the high quality development and the increase of the size. How to promote the support of the financial sector to realize the science and technology innovation and to inject more driving force for the real economy, how to deepen the reform of financial sectors and how to make use of the resources both home and abroad, and to develop the market both home and abroad, and to make sure we will not have the systematic risks happening in the financial sector. All these questions really worth the continuous and in-depth consideration in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, the annual conference of the 2022 Financial Street Forum will be concluded, and let's always keep in mind of the mission and these questions and make our efforts to realize the high quality development of the financial sector and make our own contribution to build us as a modern socialist country. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vice Mayor Jing Wei, for your wonderful remarks. Let's give a warm applause to Mr. Jing Wei again. And I would also like to thank the four speakers who gave us the very good greetings for the future development of financial streets. And ladies and gentlemen, 30 years of development of the financial street cannot be realized without the efforts of all the professionals. And today we have invited the speakers from the authorities and the scholars and experts to share their ideas about the topic, which is deepening the financial reform and opening up and to build a high-quality national financial management. First, let's give the floor to the chairman of the Committee of the Financial Economic Affairs of the CPC National Committee, and who is Mr. Shang Fulin, to give the keynote speech. Welcome. Distinguished guests, good afternoon. I am very glad to be invited to the closing ceremony of the 2022 Financial Street Annual Conference and also the special event on the 30th anniversary of the development of the Financial Street. This year is the 30th anniversary, and I myself has been working in the financial sector for a long time, and I used to work in PBOC and then to the CSRC and the CBRC. My position has been changed several times, but I've always been working in the area near the financial street, including the current position in the CPPCC. I have witnessed the high-quality development of the whole journey of the financial reforms and the national financial centers development. After 30 years of development, we also have witnessed the booming and achievements of the financial sector in China. I would like to take this opportunity to share with you two pieces of thought. Number one, the 30 years development of financial street is coupling with the whole financial sector in China. The construction and development of the financial streets started in the year 1992. The objective is to set up an area in the western second ring between Fuchengmen and Fuxingmen, and we're going to build the place with the gathering of the headquarters of the banks and the international financial institutions. And Mr. Deng Xiaoping also have started another round of the reform. The 14th CPC National Congress has clearly stated our objective to build the market economy with Chinese socialism characteristics. We should make all the efforts to improve our economy. The financial sector's reform is also entering into a new stage. And the CSRC was established in 1992. Since the year 1993, when the State Council issued the decision on the financial reform, then the paces of the reform and opening up of financial sector has been accelerated. The financial market has been continuously booming, and the types of the financial institutions are expanding. Their ability to support the real economy is improved, and there are more space and resilience for us to cope with the risks.
Especially after this 18th CPC National Congress, and the CPC Central Committee have made some kind of strategic deployment and have paved the way for the financial market with the Chinese characteristics. So first of all, the thing is that we have continued to improve the financial market system. Over the past 3 decades, with the continuous reformation and the transition of the China's mechanism for the finance sector, the market system of China's financial sector have developed from this kind of uniform banking system to a diversified system with multiple aspects. And the total number and the total assets for the financial institutions have exceeded 400 trillion RMB. The first thing is that China's capital market is built from 0 to 1, and we started the development of the capital market under the socialist economy, and we have now become the second largest financial market in terms of market scale. The financial street have witnessed a series of reformation, including these kind of a stock share reformation. And not very soon ago, we have landed the Beijing Stock Exchange, and we have built up this kind of multiple level of this capital market. And the second is that the banking system is more and more diversified. And the state-owned banks have made their own transition from the dedicated bank, that is a state-owned, to the commercial banks. And they have undergone a whole different process of this kind of stock transformation and going listed. And the 3 commercial banks were set up in the year 1994, in realizing these kind of separation, the separating of these policy-based businesses with the commercial business. And a number of the large-scale commercial banks, such as the ICBC and these PBOs, and these Postal Savings Bank of China, and also the number of the policy-based banks, such as the CDB, have also landed in the commercial street. And also as a form of reformation, and as a result of this reformation, the Bank of Beijing is right now the largest municipal commercial bank in China, and about the BRCB is also one of the first banks that have been transited or transformed in the year 2005, and that is the first batch among all these rural and commercial banks in China. And both banks, BOB and BRCB, are headquartered in the financial street. And about the insurance sector, we have built up a large number of these financial insurance entities, and we have formed a whole insurance system that covering all the different aspects, and with the products covering like the life insurance and health insurance, as well as the wealth insurance. And the China Life, or like the PICC and others, and altogether, and these financial streets accounts for more than half of all the headquarters for the insurance companies. According to the statistics, there are altogether more than 1,900 financial institutions located in the financial street, and among them there are more than 800 key financial institutions here. The second is that the intention and willingness of supporting the real economic development from the financial sector have been developed and improved from the past 3 decades. In these macroeconomic policies and macroeconomic regulations have been widely approved, and the ability of the financial sector in serving the real economy has been developed. The support to the key fields from the financial sector have been largely developed. Since the outbreak of the COVID-19, the financial sector has helped the market entities to alleviate their difficulties and to help with their development and survival. And as for improving the people's livelihood and increasing people's well-being, the financial sector have also played its role. The banking sector and the financial sector have largely promoted the construction of this inclusive finance, and all the institutions have adopted a series of technology, including the big data, AI, cloud computing, and blockchain, to promote the transformation of the financial services and to promote this green transformation. And the inclusive finance, green finance, and digital finance are also taking the lead in the world. The third is that And the mitigating and prevention of the financial risk have got a critical staged or the phased outcome. And the mitigation of the financial risk, it has been an eternal theme. And the financial street have centralized and have gathered the one bank, that is the PBOC, and the two CSRC and CBRC, and is considered as the real headquarters for the financial administration in China. At the same time, the infrastructure is continuously developed. A number of the key financial infrastructures are also located in the financial street. Of the past 3 decades, these supervision and governance mechanism of the financial sector have been continuously developing, and these management organs have taken a general picture in governing and managing these development issue for the finance sector, especially after the 18th CPC National Congress, and all these different risks have been shrunk, and the high risk shadow banking have surpassed its scale compared with the historical peak, and downsized by as much as 25 trillion. And these kind of reformation for these medium and smaller size of banks have been promoting its transition, and these online banking services or the online loan services have been included into our governance. And more than 5,000 illegal P2P, peer-to-peer loan agencies have stopped their operation, have ceased their operation according to the administration. And the financial street had witnessed the process of development of the financial sector in China, and have also realized this leaping of the development, and have become a location with the highest concentration for financial institutions and the financial talents. And the relevant data have shown that the financial streets creates and contributed about 40% of these added value or premium in the financial sector, with only 0.2% of the land area, and have created a roughly 1/3 of these tax income from the financial sector. And I think that is a pretty marvelous achievement. And the second feeling of myself is that we should continue to play the role for the management center for the financial sector, and to create its own way for the financial sector with the Chinese characteristics, standing on the new phase of development, and on the issue of how to play its role as the management center, and how can we pave the way or lay the foundation for the financial sector with the Chinese characteristics. I'd like to propose some advices. The first is that it cannot be separated from the strong momentum for the economic growth, and the status for the well-known international finance center such as the New York and the London are established and defined after the UK and the United States have become this major economy. And the economy and the influence of the country is a kind of important precondition for the overall status for the financial streets and the financial districts. And I believe that the economy of China is also a huge support for the development of the financial streets. And the second is that to develop a proper business environment, we should properly handle the relationship between the government and the market. On the one hand, we should use and give full play to the advantages that these administrations are located here, and to enhance the top-notch design. And on the other hand, we should use the market. We should use the decisive role, give full play to the decisive role of the market in resource allocation, and try to create optimal environments. The third is that talents is the key to the innovation, and we should continue to enhance our attractiveness to our attraction to the financial talent. And last but not least, I wish the financial street better in the future, and I wish a great success for the Financial Street Forum. We hope we will be better in the future. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much for your excellent speech from Mr. Shangfu Lin. And the next one, let's have Mr. Li Yang to deliver his remarks. Mr. Li Yang, Chairman of National Institution for Finance and Development. Okay, so dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everyone. I'm really glad to be here in the Financial Street Forum again. And before the conference, I have talked pretty much with our staff. And the staff told me that I am one of the persons that have participated in the most financial street forums for the past few years. And I felt pretty proud of myself, and I have been developing together with the Financial Street Forum. Since I'm an old friend for the forum, so basically my topic remains the same in this year. The theme for my speech remained unchanged. And the topic or the theme for my speech will be how can we build up a better financial street and to improve the efficiency for administration. So as we know that this year is pretty much unique. The thing is, it is shown in multiple aspects. I think most importantly, the world has been changed. We have seen the conflict between the Russia and Ukraine at the beginning of the year, and it means that the globalization that we were familiar with have come to its tomb, and it have entered a new phase, and in which we believe that China will play the leading role. And another important event is that we have successfully held the 20th CPC National Congress, and the party's CPC Central Committee have made the important and critical deployment for the all people in China for the next 5-10 years and all the way until the mid of the century. And facing that situation, the development of the financial street should also include some new contents and new aspects. And in recent years, there have been some new contents and new changes for the development of the international financial centers, and I want to take this opportunity to talk about what we will look at in the next phase if we want to build ourselves as a kind of international financial center and a national financial center. And I think we should place our emphasis on 4 aspects. The first is that, just as what Mr. Shang has mentioned, we need to build up our economic center. The thing is that we know that Beijing is a city with unique economic strengths, but when we are talking about the economic center, we do not only point to the GDP itself. It is pretty much important. It is a traditional indicator, and when we talk about economic center, we always point to GDP. But right now, we need to see there are something that is more important. The thing is that we would like to become the center and also the holder for in the value chain and industry chain. If we want to become the leader in all these industry chains, and I think that have always been the weak link, because we have already built up our quantity, but we are not taking the lead among all the chains, especially in some core sessions or the kernel links. We are not taking the advantage, and we think this is the next step where we can work in. And the second is that we should be the leader in the global pricing system, because I believe that everyone here today are familiar with the number and the amount of the products. And as we know that in a market economy, the buyers have the say, but in the Chinese market, in many of the product fields, and we are the major buyers, but we do not have the say. And when we want to express the need, then there will have the market price fluctuation moving to a negative position for us. So this involves the pricing rights, and I think in this field, Mr. Shang is the expert. And right now, the pricing for the bulk goods are from the financial market, and I think we are familiar with that. Ever since the financial crisis in the year 2008, we have already witnessed the fluctuation of the crude oil. So if you look into the ranks of the crude oil, and if you look into the top 10 buyers or the top 10 entities in demand are not petroleum companies, they are financial institutions. This raised a new question for us. When we talk about the status for financial center, we should also look into the pricing. And I think that we should try our best to become a pricing center when we want to build up ourselves into a finance center. And the second is that we would like to become a provider for the financial infrastructure. And talking about the financial infrastructure, and basically we say that we haven't placed enough emphasis in the past. And Mr. Shang have been working in the financial sector for a long time, and I have been studying finance for a long time. In the last century, when we talk about financial infrastructure, we are not that familiar with that, and we didn't highlight enough. And before we know about the smart accounting and smart clearance, and after that we introduce the computers. And in recent years, we have gradually got our understanding about the financial infrastructure. We have got a basic understanding about the scope and its significance.
In recent years, we have witnessed the bullying behaviors of the United States, and they are going to have the long-arm supervision, and they would threat the other countries very frequently. So this kind of the measurements for the supervision are mainly done through the financial infrastructure. For example, SWIFT. SWIFT is not invented by the US, but the US is controlling SWIFT, and by controlling the SWIFT, they can make all these measures to realize its political objective. So when we talk about financial infrastructure, we have to be clear that in the next stage, the financial street can do more job in this aspect. The financial infrastructure is much more than what we are thinking about, including the international settlement, etc. Of course, one is international settlement, and that relates to the digitalized settlement. Not only the traditional settlement, and these settlement should be connected with the others. When we are discussing the position of the international financial about the financial street, we may talk about the advantages of the Hong Kong, because they have the settlement services covering all the major currencies. So finance and transaction relies on the payment settlements. So in this perspective, payment settlement is much more important than the currencies. So we need to improve in this aspect. And secondly, the legal environment. The legal environment is also the financial infrastructure. There may be the risks during the transaction and the money crisis. Well, after these happened, there should be the very effective and timely and legally measures to cope with them. So the rights of the financial sectors needs to be guaranteed. So that means there should be very good legal support. Previously, when we have a discussion with Hong Kong about the future development of Hong Kong, they say that our legal system in Hong Kong, because they have the Anglo-Saxon tradition, this legal system is more suitable to support the financial support, especially it's more suitable for the development of the financial innovation. So from this aspect, in the next stage, we should make more efforts to improve that. Thirdly, the corporate governance, which is also the infrastructure. I have realized that when President Yi Gang have said that the modernization of the Central Committee, he talked about 4 aspects. We can further discuss its coverage, but of course he has talked about the corporate governance. He also talked about the ability to solve the problems by themselves. Once the problem occurs, who will solve the problem? This is one of the important contents of the corporate governance. If we are not clear about that, how can we develop the finance? And number 4, the accounting standards. We know that we should have the very reasonable accounting system, and there are 2 accounting standards in the world. One is from Europe, another is from US. And we all know that when China bringing these accounting standards, we normally would question these 2 standards, and we are looking for more information and doing the comparison about the 2 standards. Whether it's possible that we can have the opportunities to make sure more Chinese enterprises and Chinese financial institutions can have an easier understanding of the accounting standards. So whether we can integrate the comparison of these 2 accounting systems which are being recognized by the market. We can gather these recognized parts and to summarize the accounting standards which is more suitable to China. Number 5 is the credit system. Of course, the finance is about credit. It's the operation of someone's credit. So, the Chairman Sheng had a conference in Hebei. So we said that the blockchain is a new system for trust. So previously, when we talk about finance, we never talk about trust. But now it is most important. Without trust, there's nothing at all, and let alone the finance. So how to make sure the trust can be transferred to the credit system and to guarantee the effective operation and to guarantee that all the participants can enjoy their rights and their rights can be guaranteed. So all the players in the market and the consumers rights can be very well guaranteed, and the credit system is definitely needed. It doesn't mean the existing one because that is too simple. We not only need the traditional credit system, but also the new digital credit system. These are all of our new tasks. A sixth one is the anti-money laundering system because currently the world is really unfriendly and there's really not safe. Different types of events happening all the time, and a lot of crises are related to the money laundering. We need to have the anti-money laundering system to guarantee that the whole financial system in China is reliable and trustworthy, that everyone would like to join in this system. So after this kind of comparison, we can know that the financial infrastructure is really lacking behind. So when we are talking about the financial assets, the scale is ranking the second after the U.S. The financial assets of the banking system may be even bigger than that in the U.S. because the U.S. has more assets size for the securities. While in terms of the credit system, we need to make a step forward. Otherwise, in the future, others may think that we may not be safe to be have the transaction with. So I think next stage, the development of the financial street should focus on this aspect. Maybe that a lot of things are nationwide, but in Beijing, we can definitely make our own contribution. Third, we need to have some more in-depth discussion. That means we have to master the supply mechanism for the supply chain. From 2006, 7, and 2008, when there were the financial crisis, we have found out a phenomenon. That is, there were over issuing of the debts or bonds. Of course, the debts triggered a lot of problems, and also in our DNA, we have the external debts, no internal debts. No debts is the best. But after years of development, especially from the economic development in the U.S., debt or liabilities are not something bad, and they are indispensable at a certain stage or to some extent. We must say that with this problem of the debts in the U.S. and the resilience or the reliance on the foreign debt or the bond, but we have to make sure that the liquidity of the international market relies on the national bonds market in the U.S. Once the market shrank, this happened before. And Chairman Sheng used to say that before. When Clinton was in office, there were 2 years of the fiscal surplus, and there were 2 years of the shrinking of the national bond of the U.S., and then the whole world suffered the lack of liquidity. So from that time, we can find out that the mechanism for the liquidity supply has been changed. So this may be happen, and even though that the national bond from the U.S. has accumulated a lot, well, in this fiscal year, the fiscal budget has been halved. And then the bond or reliabilities from different markets will be occur, so that will influence the liquidity supply in the whole market. Maybe this is a little bit too far away, but I would like to say that in the 20th National Congress of CPC, the second sentence in the macroeconomic regulation, you talk about the coordination of the fiscal and the financial policy. So the cooperation from the national bond is important. So we need to be clear that the credit of the society is actually from the government and the liquidity are from the debt of the government. So these are the latest development trend. I don't think we have paid enough attention to this within China, but that is the case in the international market for a long time already. I think we can do the study about the construction of the central banks system and to integrate that with the coordination of the fiscal policy and monetary policy. And I believe that Beijing can definitely provide conditions in this aspect. Number 4, we should talk about the innovation-friendly supervision system. The supervision has been strengthened. That is out of question. So for finance, there were 3 aspects in the 20th National Congress report: supervision, risk prevention, and 3 aspects about fiscal work, the budget, the tax revenue, and the government regulation supervision. So when we talk about this, supervision has been mentioned, and there's another sentence about supervision. So that means the supervision is the priority. So the supervision definitely needs to be innovation friendly. We talk a lot about the supervision. We should have the very strong regulation of the financial sector. I talk about it on many different occasions. No matter on the regular conferences or the academic exchanges, the sound supervision doesn't mean it will be strong supervision. The supervision, we need to be clear about the function of supervision. That is to guarantee the development. If the supervision has created barriers for the development, then we would rather not have this type of supervision. So the supervision has to be solved. And also for China, supervision, especially the supervision, is integrated with the administrative monitoring. So it is even more complex. What we need is an innovation-friendly environment. It can help the innovation. Innovation is one of the first 5 is the first among the 5 development concepts. So whether we can stand in the center of the international stage, that depends on the innovation. That also means the policies should support innovation. So supervision should be friendly to innovation. This is the first point. And secondly, we should also pay attention to the changes and adjustment of the diagram of supervision. We found out the changes of the narrative already. Functional supervision. So what you are doing, you will be supervised by the relative department, rather than the traditional supervision concept. It is not in line with the existing situation, especially the boundaries of a financial sector with the other sector has been blurred. Basically, we cannot be clear about the boundaries between the financial sector and the real economy sector. So the supervisors recently have the function supervision, which has been mentioned in different documents and policies. And when we talk about this point, we can also do some international comparisons. For example, there were 2 types of supervision can be compared. One is the financial crisis in the U.S. in 2008. At that time, in academia, we think that there should be strong supervision. Well, finally, the adopted act was not about the stronger supervision. It is a very friendly supervision. Of course, Walker rules. Of course, it is talk about the separation of the banking system and non-banking systems, and to improve the different types of the regulation, but it is not the same case in the newly adopted act, and we also have translated that act, and I wrote a very long preface about the changes of the concept of supervision. We should do very well supervision. We should be clear about the achievements made, and at the same time to prevent the consequences. And the priorities of supervision will be different.
So if we supervise some key links, or if we only monitor these transaction counterparties, so basically we allow the transaction, but if there is some kind of a fixed weak links in the counterpart, and we need to increase the transparency, because you need to tell us, for example, tell the supervisories about what are the things they need to do, and if you do not disclose, then we have some penalty or punishment. Another thing is that the capital requirement is indispensable, because we know that the financial sector, right, working in the financial sector, you need to spend your own money, because you need to have your own money to fill in the gap, and also on the basis of your own and self-own the assets, you can have the help of the others. So it cannot basically stop, wait and see. And for many of the things we stopped, we waited, but it did not recover. So many of the innovations started from us, but in some areas we are left behind by the world. So this is connected with the philosophy of waiting and see. And to be more specific, I'd like to mention that recently, I think you have all witnessed these in some latest growth or latest things. There is a speech from this deputy president, vice president of the U.S. Fed, and he spoke at London, and which systematically interpreted in the philosophy of the supervision of the United States on the digital assets. The reason of mentioning his speech is that it will be the field that we compete in the future. So the thing is that the digital assets is one of the fields that we can start from the same starting point with other developed countries, and to have a kind of fair competition. So the thing is that, when we started our development in the data assets or data assets management, and the United States did not catch up with us. And I think today, or at the current moment, they have started out about the principles, interests, and the loss. And they have sorted out various principles that equal thing, equal risk, and equal treatment. So basically, I think it is pretty much practical for us as a reference. So is it the responsibility, or we did not consider the things done by the licensed banks or the sci-tech companies? They are different. But actually, he proposed that for the equal things that have done by commercial banks or by the sci-tech companies, we should pay their equal, or we should carry on the equal management. And in China, I think the sci-tech companies will have the squeezing effect with the commercial banks, and they will form into the contradictions, and that is the time that our administrations should solve that contradiction. But in the United States, they allow the central banks to start from the very beginning. And the third, the central bank is also carrying out relevant things, and they did not fight or win in the competition with the people. And the central bank will take all the digital assets, including the bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies, at its core or as its weapon. So these have shown the importance for the central banks. And by saying that, or by sharing that with all of us, I think it's just providing us with a new and a fresh idea of mindset. The world is rapidly changing, and we need to catch up with the trends, or otherwise we may be left behind again in some fields. Because the world right now is absolutely not friendly to us. And in this very world, we should do a good job for our main duty and to catch up with time And in the financial street, I believe that we need to make our own contributions to catch up with time. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much for your excellent speech. And the next one, let's have Mr. Cai Xiliang, Deputy Secretary of the Party Committee and President of China Life Insurance. Let's welcome. Honorable leaders, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everyone. I'm really glad to be invited to participate in the closing ceremony to the annual conference of the Financial Street Forum 2022. When the whole country is learning from the spirit of the 20th CPC National Congress, the Financial Street celebrates its 30th anniversary. For the past 3 decades, with the firm leadership of the CPC Central Committee and the State Council, and with the huge support from the Beijing Municipal Committee and Beijing Municipal People's Government, and thanks to the efforts of all the constructors and contributors, the Financial Street have formed a kind of integration of the industry, funds, assets, infrastructure, and talent, and we effectively helped with the development of the financial institutions and served for the reform of national financial sector. In the year 2007, the headquarters of China Life Insurance have been relocated to the Financial Street, and we are a witness and also a kind of participant in the growth of the Financial Street. So here, on behalf of China Life, I would like to extend my congratulations to the achievements of the Financial Street, and also extend my gratitude to the support that the Financial Street have provided to us. And right now, the Financial Street is standing on a higher level to build up this National Finance Administration Center and to serve for the reform of this national financial system. As an important part of the financial system, insurance should play a more important role in this overall process. And the next, I'm going to share to shed some light on the future development of the insurance sector based on our existing practice. The first is that when the Chinese modernization enters a new era, the insurance sector is shouldering multiple responsibilities, and we have things to do. We have a lot to do. The 20th CPC National Congress report have proposed that we need to continue to promote the Chinese modernization. And the key tasks including building up a new structure for development, improve people's livelihood, promote the modernization for the national security system and the governance system. And all these specific deployments are closely related with the insurance. And these have created new opportunities for insurance and have raised their requirements. And when we talk about improving people's livelihood, insurance is with its unique nature. So for all the things like relieving the vulnerables and to provide the assistance to the people in need, the insurance can actually provide an important guarantee for the people to maintain their life standards and also to promote the common prosperity for our people. And in terms of serving the real economy, the insurance funds are with the features of the large scale of the stable funds and also the long term, which have a natural match with these fund requirements of these real economic entities, and is an important fund for the direct investments. And right now, our balance for the insurance fund is about 25 trillion, which can be injected to the construction of the modern industry system, rural revitalization, and regional coordinated developments through various channels, and we can provide important fund supports. And as for the social governance, insurance is an important part, an important measure to promote the modernization for social governance, which can be used to effectively increase the social resilience and to guarantee the development, safety, and security. So, with the insurance for like the natural disasters, and we can participate in this kind of disaster relief and recovery, and also with the insurance and with the insurance items of safe production, we can effectively prevent the risk for our construction and protection and to mitigate the social conflicts. So in general, as an important part for the nation's for the guarantee measures in the financial system, we can effectively guarantee people's livelihood and to provide a kind of backbone support. And we can effectively support and escort these modernization with the Chinese characteristics. The second is that the insurance market is at its growth, and we have a huge space for further development, and we have a huge potential. So for China have ranked the second largest insurance market for 5 consecutive years, and the total assets for the insurance sector is around 27 trillion RMB. But the depth and the density is only 3.9%, and is only 3,180 RMB per capita. That is a 60% of the average global standards. And China is right now the most the insurance market with the huge potential is the maximum potential in the world. And right now, the average insurance orders for per capita in China is less than 1. And the number of reimbursements of these health insurance only accounts for less than 5% among all these health reimbursements. And in this storm disaster happened in Henan last year, the insurance reimbursement is only 10% among all the losses, which is far lower than the average level of 30% in the globe. And I believe that these are all the huge the potentials and the things that we can look at for improving the quality and increasing efficiency. China's insurance agencies and institutions are largely preferred by the investors. And the data have shown us of all the 5 A-listed insurance companies are with the PE for 12.7 times, and that is 3 times that of the banking sector. And about the PE ratio and this net ratio for China Life is always twice that of the leading insurance companies in Europe. The relatively stable market estimate means that the global investors are generally in favor of the development prospects for China's insurance companies and the insurance market. China's insurance market have already become a kind of important strategic point for the development of the foreign-funded investors. Entering the new era, the Chinese insurance market has been opening up to the world, and many world-leading insurance agencies have come to operate in the Chinese market. By setting up their own branches or joint venture companies, they have accelerated their layout in the wealth, life, and health insurance in order to share the dividend for the development of the Chinese market. And many insurance agencies have shared the consensus in the expectation that China will remain one of the largest incremental market in terms of insurance market, and will play a more important role among all the insurance sector in the world. After 4 decades of rapid development, right now, and the insurance sector in China is suffering from some temporary troubles or some temporary stall. Especially the development of the life insurance are facing some short-term challenges and pressure. And I believe that this is an important opportunity for us to upgrade and transform our business mode and to open up and expand into the second largest to branched markets. And it is also an important transformation or transition period that we would like to develop into a market with higher quality. And the Chinese insurance market is still in this important historical period for opportunity, and we are with a huge potential. And we should learn from and implement the spirits for the 20th CPC National Report to set up our views and to strengthen these and to strengthen the role for insurance as the trust and to go back to the origin intention for the insurance, and to continue uphold the idea or the customer-oriented philosophy to accelerate inter-transformation and improve the global competitiveness. In this process, the China Life will work together with the colleagues to implement the high-quality development of the China Life into the modernization and the areas or the fields that is in urgent need of our people, and to make our own contributions of China Life and to actively support the financial streets to build up these financial administrative centers And also, we hope that the governments and institutions of various levels, industry administrations, and our clients and the media influence from the media sector to support and to concern and to care about the reformation and development of China life. And last but not least, I wish a complete success and a new achievement for the construction of the National Financial Administration Center in Financial Street. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Secretary Cai Xiliang. Now let's give the floor to member of the Party Committee, Vice President of ICBC, Mr. Zhang Weiwu, to give us the online speech. Distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today, I myself is very glad to jointly attend this annual conference of the Financial Street together with you. And this year marks the 30th anniversary of the founding of the Financial Street. And we have the world's largest bank headquartered in the Financial Street. ICBC has always adhered to the big minds of the country and integrated its own development into overall national situation and the trend of the times. And now I'd like to talk about 2 points of experience in helping the high-quality construction of National Financial Management Center. First, the banking industry has great prospects in the construction of National Financial Management Center. In 1992, the construction of Beijing Financial Street was officially launched. In the same year, ICBC Business Office Building Engineering Headquarters was established. The new business office building was located in Financial Street. And over the last 30 years, ICBC and the Financial Street have been in the same boat and grow together. Today, Financial Street gathers more than 1/3 of the country's financial assets in a land area of 2.59 square kilometers, and it has become a national financial management center with the functions of decision-making and supervision, standard formulation, asset management, payment and settlement, information exchange, international cooperation. ICBC has also grown into a number of indicators, such as the capital assets, deposits, and loans, ranking the top in these aspects. It's the world's largest bank with the largest market value and total dividends in the domestic industry. Its brand value has topped the national banking industry for 6 years already. And the finance is the most important weapon of the country, and the construction of the National Financial Management Center is a major measure put forward by China to learn from international experience under a new situation and combine its own national condition. It is of a great significance to improve the financial management capacities and improve the financial governance system and coordinate development and security. For the banking sector, promoting high-quality construction is its both mission and the development opportunity. On one hand, the National Financial Center is an extension of the capital's political center function and had played an important role in enhancing the core financial competitiveness and maintaining the financial stability and security. On the other hand, the National Financial Center assumes an important mission in building a modern financial system and implementing the national financial reform and opening up, which provides opportunities for commercial banks to try first and to seize the opportunities. Therefore, promoting the high-quality construction of the National Financial Center is also an important way to show the banking industry's practice of financial politics and the people's professionalism. Second, we are shouldering the responsibility of the big banks. ICBC always implements the decision made by the central government and the state council on the financial work and continue to move forward with the Financial Street together in strengthening the financial function of the capital. We will demonstrate the new responsibilities, focusing on mainly 5 areas. The first one is to adhere the responsibility of guarding the land and help build a national financial security network. We will continue to strengthen the concept of the financial security system and the construction of the comprehensive risk management system. Resolutely implement the regulatory requirements, strengthen the management of head offices, domestic and overseas, internal and the external market. And the second is to focus on the integrity and innovation. We are going to further serve the high-quality development of the real economy, further enhance the financial supply capacity, promote the foster choices of the foreign trade, and continuously make the breakthroughs in the strategies such as the connection between the urban and rural areas. We are going to give full play of our professional advantages and support financial streets to build a modern financial industry system. Third is to strengthen the scientific and technological empowerment and help the independent, uncontrollable, and reliable transformation of the national financial infrastructure. We will also deepen the construction of digital ICBC, lead the digital upgrading of financial business products and service, promote integration of the digital and business transformation, take the initiative to strengthen the forward-looking development and the orderly application of the advanced financial technology, and focus on the developing a modern digital financial system and is compatible with the functional positioning of the capital. Number 4, deepen international cooperation and serve the overseas situations of national economic and financial diplomacy. We will give full support to Financial Street to build a national financial home core area and give a play of the role of ICBC as the bilateral and multilateral cooperation platform, and to consolidate the regular cooperation mechanism between the Belt and Road banks alongside the Belt and Road Initiative, deepen the international cooperation, and to make sure that we can be the platform to express China's voices in global financial governance. Number 5, promote the two-way opening up and create a new highland for national financial opening up. We will give full play of the ICBC's professional advantages in the financial market and advantages of global network services. Continue to promote the construction of the infrastructure for two-way opening up of the financial market. Help expand institutional opening up, such as the rules and regulations management standards. Ladies and gentlemen, on the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the construction and development of the Financial Street, the construction of National Financial Center has given the Financial Street a new historical mission. Supporting and serving the construction of the center is the responsibility of all the financial institutions. Let's join hands together to promote the high-quality construction of the National Financial Management Center. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, President Zhang Wei. Now let's give the floor to the chairman of Beijing Stock Exchange, Mr. Zhou Guihua, to give the keynote speech. Distinguished guests and dear ladies and gentlemen, dear officials, and thank you very much. I'm very glad to be here at the special event on the 30th anniversary of the Financial Street and closing ceremony of the annual conference. And we have witnessed the splendid reform and development of the financial sector in China. And when serving the major national strategies and to serve the financial reform in China, we are mainly focusing on the development in 4 aspects, and we also have achieved a lot. Especially since the 18th National Congress of the CPC, the Financial Street has now entered into a new stage. The business environment has been improved a lot. The innovation is playing a leading role in the sector development. And it's a function as a financial institution, financial management institution. And this year is the 30th anniversary of the Financial Street. It is also the 10th anniversary of the stock transfer system. And since the year 2006, when we have launched this pilot program, and until the year 2012, when the whole national system has been established, until September 2021, President Xi have officially instructed to set up the Beijing Stock Exchange. We are developing together with the Financial Street in China. We have jointly witnessed the development of the diversified financial organizations, and we all have together witnessed the structure improvement. And Beijing now has become the only city with the Beijing local stock exchange and the national stock exchange. Now we are in a new era, and in a new era of which is guided by the Xi Jinping thought of the socialism with Chinese characteristics, based on the deepening the supply side reform of the financial structure. We are going to continue to make the improvement in terms of the market access, the issuing mechanisms and policies, and the supervision of the different interests. We have done a lot of job, and we are also exploring the capital market to have the feasible method to promote the SMEs and the real economy and expand the coverage of the finance. Until now, In Beijing Stock Exchange, we have provide services to 13,000 SMEs and including 7,000 private enterprises and SMEs. They have raised about 600 billion RMB. And we are going to further propose that we are going to build a new development landscape and to focus on high quality development and to focus on the small and medium-sized enterprises to accelerating the innovation-driven development strategy and to fulfill the capital market function. And this has laid a very clear direction for us. We are going to further follow the deployment of the 20th National Congress and to build us as an organization to fulfill the mission and responsibility to serve the SMEs. And one of the major ways is to make sure that we are going to be a major channel to serve the SMEs. And the two centers means that we are going to build us as the incubation center for the SMEs and also the value assessment and pricing center. We are also going to be the information exchange platform and a comprehensive service platform and a platform for the practice of the inclusive finance. And according to this vision, we are going to coordinate the existing target and the future target. We are going to make sure that we can make some demonstration pilot programs and to do the study to find out the thought of the future development. We are going to do more studies of the diversified products and to improve the works, and we have 6 major strategies. At the same time, focus on the question and focus on the features of the different stages of the market. And based on the general rules, we are going to do the work with priorities and with a plan and follow the different steps. We are going to make the efforts step by step to expand the scale of our exchange and to make sure our work will be improved to a new level at different aspects. And we're also going to form the basic market scale at the same time to make sure the exchange can innovate its product and to improve its different types of function. At the current stage, the Beijing Stock Exchange will take the time to jointly with the other partners to build the quarterly product system, improve the ecosystem of the environment, and to build the normal of the competition. And in the future, we are going to make the efforts in the following aspects. Number 1 is to promote the regularized issuing of the products. And then this is the priority and the major difficulty and challenge. The foundation of the Beijing Stock Exchange, we are exploring a new way, which is very effective in terms of evaluation. From the registration until the issuing is about average days, about 140 days. Based on this, we are going to improve the quality and efficiency to make sure that we are going to be a platform for the listing of the SMEs, which have the clearer expectation, high efficient, and more inclusive. At the same time, we are going to provide the listing and make sure that the good qualities can rapidly realize the listing in a big market 1 year after they were granted with the authority or with the allowance. And at the same time, we are going to provide more services to the grassroots level and to provide equal services. At the same time, pay equal attention to the size and the quality, improve the revenue of the listed companies. We should also improve the balanced development of the market to incentivize the impetus of the market and to make sure that the transaction will be very transparent and all the players will participate in the market very actively, optimizing the pricing system and guide the SMEs to have the reasonable price and also monitoring the benefits to all the investors. Enrich the investment tools, and we're also going to provide more products to make sure that there will be more diversified investment products to expand the channel to make sure these policies about bond raising and the debt raising channels will be very clear and smooth, and to facilitate the transaction. And number 3, we are going to increase the supply of the product and enhance the function of the stock exchange. We are going to accelerate the government bond and the building of the secondary market, and to build the debt transferred from national bond and other financing and fundraising tools to make sure these products will be gradually covering the bonds and the stocks and the fund and the securitization of the assets. Expand the the efficiency of the financing through the bonds and debts. We would like to build a more flexible base for the stock exchange, so that all the SMEs and the big companies can also become stronger and stronger. We're also working together to build the landscape that people can join together to share the benefit.
We will try our best to build up the bridges and create a platform and to motivate these all parties, and also to follow the orientation for the inclusive finance to help these SMEs to innovate and develop. And also we should continue to improve the fundamental mechanisms of the market and to balance the costs and to strengthen the restraints to the intermediaries and to build up a positive market environment that involves the participation of various aspects, and to try our best to connect these taxation and fund supports as well as the market guarantee to make full use of these kind of hub functions, so that we will motivate the market resources and the market factors to integrate into the SMEs. And their guests and their friends in the 20th CPC National Congress have clearly pointed the blueprint for the comprehensive development of China, and together we should follow these the general arrangements of the CPC Central Committee and the State Council, and under the unified leadership of the CSRC, adhere to the fundamental direction of the financial services to the real economy, and to make good use for the financial streets, and to make our own contributions to the transformation of the new economic pattern, and to contribute our own forces to the high-quality development of the capital. And I wish that the financial streets should create and achieve more positive outcomes in the new era. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much for your excellent speech, Mr. Zhou Guihua. And next, let's have the keynote speech from Mr. Huo Xuewen, Secretary of Party Committee, Chairman of Bank of Beijing. And honorable leaders, distinguished guests, hello everyone. And as another witness participant and contributor to the financial streets, and we are really glad to celebrate the 30th anniversary for the financial streets. And at this closing ceremony, the closing ceremony is themed deepening these reform for the financial center and to promote the high quality construction. And I'd like to share 3 of my ideas. The first thing is that the construction and development of the financial street is an important window for observing China's financial reform and opening up. Reform and opening up is the only way for the financial modernization, which has promoted the historical transformation of China's financial system from single to diversified and from closed to open. And financial street was born because of reform and opening up, and is also flourishing because of it. Throughout the history of financial street, it is not only a history for the reform and opening up of the Chinese financial sector, but also the history of struggle and of the hard working for the innovation and development of financial institutions. It is also a history for the development of the financial sector in Beijing. Today's financial street is not only a business card for Beijing, but it is also an important symbol for the development and growth for China's financial industry and showing its strengths and achievements to the world. It has created a new landmark for China's financial opening up, and also the place of origin for China's financial policies. And it is also a place of gathering for the financial institutions. And it only accounts for like about 0.02% of the land area. It contributed to nearly 40% of the city's added value of the financial industry, and created 70% of the city's 3-tier tax contributions of the financial sector. It is one of the areas with the highest concentration for the high-end industries, financial talents, RMB flow, and tax contribution. And as the National Financial Management Center, Beijing is a continuous leader in China's financial reform and opening up, and is also a practitioner for the high-quality financial development. And also, it is an important supporter for the opening up of China's financial sector. The National Financial Management Center is an important part for Beijing's functions. It gathers the National Financial Management Department, headquarters of large financial institutions, various industry financial associations, and important financial infrastructure. It has the advantages in supervision, market, customer, talent, S&T, innovation, public service, and business environment. And among them, we can enjoy the simplest and most streamlined handling of the process. And these unique development advantages have opened up a broad space for the capital's high-quality development. The financial sector, as the #1 pillar industry in Beijing's economy, experienced 3 milestones. And the first is that the central government had defined Beijing as a national financial management center. It is made by the CPC Central Committee, which is a direction pointed out by it. And the second is to establish the Beijing Financial Court to ensure the implementation of the national financial strategy. And the third is that General Secretary Xi Jinping announced that the establishment of the BSE. And all these have laid a solid foundation for the construction for the National Financial Management Center. The setting up of the BSE is the dream for the financial sector in the capital for the past 3 decades. The second is that the development of Bank of Beijing is a kind of microscopic view and projection for the financial street development. After settling in the financial street in the year 2006, Bank of Beijing had made full use of the location advantages and business environment of the financial streets and have accelerated the high-quality development. It is actually a witness, participant, and practitioner for the high-quality development of the financial streets, and we also benefited a lot. Looking at the development of the Bank of Beijing, we can feel the changes in the financial streets. The first is the comprehensive growth in performance. And as a bank rooted in the financial street, in retrospect of the new era, in the past 10 decades, the assets have grown from less than 1 trillion RMB to more than 3.2 trillion, and we have become the first municipal commercial banks with the assets exceeding 3 trillion RMB. And our Tier 1 capital has risen from raised from 50th place among all the world's top 1,000 banks, and we ranked among the top 100 banks in the world for 9 consecutive years. It was included in the 19 systematically important banks across China by the PBOC and in the CBRC. And the second is to give full play to the advantages of the home court and serve Beijing's major strategy. As a bank named after the name of the capital, Beijing, BOB knows that serving the capital function is not only a basic and foundation for stabilizing the overall situation, but also an important power source. We always stick to our original intention and have always been at the forefront for the economic and social development, for providing the capital with the financial services. Starting from the end of the year 2020 and until now, we have altogether used various financial tools, including these kind of smart awareness technologies, smart sensing technologies, and read loans to issue like about more than 100 billion RMB of loans, which ranks the top among all the commercial banks in Beijing. And the third is to deepen the cooperation between China and foreign banks and explore the foreign opening paths. In the year 2005, Bank of Beijing introduced the international renowned ANG Group as the overseas strategic investor to achieve the all-round integration of capital concepts, technology, and talents. Over the past 17 years, and the ING has firmly optimistic about the development of the BOB and further increased its stake in Bank of Beijing, which reflects its confidence in the Chinese economy and its affirmation of the development potentials of Beijing. The successful directors and also the vice presidents of ING in Beijing were awarded the Great Wall Friendship Award by the Beijing municipal government. We stick to the concept of mutual benefit and win-win results. Bank of Beijing have established a strategic cooperative relationship with a number of well-known international financial institutions, including the Santander Bank of Spain, with Paris Insurance Group of France, and also the Scotia Bank of Canada, and set up this China-Canada Fund. All this cooperation shows that the Bank of Beijing have already built up these cooperation have already paved our own way through reform and opening up. We are also the most opened bank to the world among all these smaller and medium-sized banks. The fourth is accelerate the strategic innovation and opening up financial services new paths. Bank of Beijing actively explores the roles of digital transformation of the banking industry. We define in the development concept of one bank, one capital, one bank, one data, and one platform. We achieved high-quality development through digital transformation and strive to promote the effectiveness. Our target is to reach the industry-leading levels within 3 years' time, and at the same time, we continue to deepen the supply-side structural reform of the financial sector. In this year, we have specifically launched our operation projects for the children's finance, and have launched this kind of comprehensive system, and also about the financial services to these new migrant workers and also to the new urban residents we have been leading as well. And in this year, we are also qualified with this kind of hosting banks for the personal pension accounts. And we believe that the three pillars will become an important development strategies for Big Bank of Beijing in the next phase. And by doing that, we have initiated in our customer journey of Bank of Beijing for your whole life. And we are exploring the construction for the whole full life cycle financial services system. The fifth is to link the financial ecology and stimulate overall financial vitality. Bank of Beijing have made full use of the advantages of the financial streets to join hands with other professional institutions to improve the ecological circle for the financial services. In the field of serving specialized and sophisticated enterprises, we work together with NSEE and BSE to establish the bilateral and multilateral exchange mechanisms and to cultivate and to enhance our cooperation in the fields of comprehensive financial services, listing and cultivation, and sci-tech innovation finance. In the field of the low-carbon development, we deepened our cooperation with the Beijing Great Exchange and released the financial service brand called the Beijing Carbon, that is the integration of the digital RMB plus the carbon account. We launched a Green Finance Plus financial service system and explored the digital low-carbon financial services. In the field of the financial infrastructure, we signed a strategic agreement with China Insurance Corporation and National Pension Insurance to deepen for our financial cooperation. In the fields of building up the digital the ecology of the ECNY, we join hands with the Digital Currency Research Center of the PBOC and promote the research and development of the digital RMB plus intelligent contracts in the fields of wage payment, prepaid fund supervision, consumer and services, rural vitalization, and medical payments. By linking the financial ecology, we achieved coordinated development, integrated development. The third is that Bank of Beijing will make full efforts to build the financial streets to build up a kind of national financial management center that match with the national status in the world and to better serve the high quality construction of the national financial management center. And as an important brand for the capital, that the capital finance is an important brand, and Beijing as the frontier for the financial reform and opening up has the foundation and the conditions to closely connect to the global financial network and become an important node for the global financial centers. The development of the financial street will also usher in new opportunities and growth space. Bank of Beijing will actively integrate into the process of the times and serve the construction of the management center with its own high-quality development. And the first is adhere to the best standards and give full play to the geographical advantages of landing here in the financial street, take many measures and smooth the financial policy transmission mechanism and promote the implementation of various national financial policies to land and to be implemented, and to integrate our own development into the strategic positioning of Beijing's four centers, and to transform the huge potential into a strong momentum to promote the high-quality development of Bank of Beijing. The second is adhere to the reform and opening up, and to deepen the international financial cooperation at a high level. We deeply grasp the development patterns and the evolution trends for the financial industry, seize the historical opportunities of the construction of the two zones, give full play to the advantages of the integration of Chinese and foreign capital, accelerate the two-way flow of financial resources, connectivity of the financial markets, and interaction of the financial talents, and the mutual benefit and win-win situation of the financial cooperation. We will always be at the forefront for the reform and opening up. The third is to adhere to innovation led development and explore the modern financial models with high efficiency. Takes and know about the features of the global digital economy, make every effort to build up the S&T banks, digital banks, ecological bank, and cultural bank, and promote business, technological, and organizational changes to build up a modern digital financial system. At the same time, we build up a kind of trinity system, that is, we have built up we have provided these all the customers of Bank of Beijing in China and created a kind of a living room for the enterprises to facilitate the business handling. And also we built up this customer-to-customer market to promote our most valuable services. And at the same time, we would like to become the ecological partners to promote the effective linkages, and coordinated development with our ecosystem friends with Bank of Beijing. At the same time, we promote the high efficient connections and coordinated development alongside the financial institutions, infrastructure, and various market entities to enhance the overall competitiveness and the innovation leadership.
Number 4 is to persist in the seeking progress in the stability and maintaining financial security. We are going to set up the conscientious of everything matters in the financial security in finance, strengthen the concept of financial security and financial risk bottom line thinking, constantly reiterate this smoking index model of Bank of Beijing, strive to build an intelligent risk control system based on big data model, and constantly set up the financial security net of the National Financial Management Center. Ladies and gentlemen, in the last 30 years, Financial Street has transformed itself from a street into a national financial management center. Let's look forward to the future, and the Financial Street will go into the world. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chairman Huo Xuewen. Let's give the floor to the next speaker, who is Qian Yujun, who is the president of UBS China and the head of the UBS Securities. Distinguished guests, greetings. I myself is very glad to be invited by the Financial Street Forum and be here on behalf of the UBS to share with you our understanding about how to promote the construction of the Financial Management Center. In December 2020, Shanghai Stock Exchange was listed and started the transaction, opening the journey of China's capital market. In 1993, State Council approved the national plan for the urban plan of Beijing and clearly stated that the National Financial Management Center will be built from Fuchengmen to Fuxingmen, and the headquarters of the national bank's headquarters and headquarters of non-banks institutions will be here. And starting from that time, Beijing Financial Street also started its mission in over 30 years, including UBS. A lot of foreign-funded financial institutions and domestic ones are all set up their business offices in the Financial Street. It has become an international financial management center, integrating the function of decision-making, supervision, the capital market activities, asset management, payment, and settlement information exchange. For UBS, China has always been our important market, and our business has been carried out in China for over 30 years already. Since 1989, UBS has set up the offices in Beijing and Shanghai, so that means at the very beginning we've started to involve ourselves into the opening up of Chinese capital market, and at the same time we have benefited from the opening up of the process of Chinese capital market. As a player in the financial street in Beijing, UBS also has witnessed the whole process for the development of the financial management center. The UBS Securities controlled by the UBS was established in 2006. Its headquarters was set up in Financial Street. Our legal person bank, which is the UBS China's headquarters, was also set up in Financial Street. We also have the branches about the asset management company and corporate management enterprises. And to take opportunity to review the development in the last 30 years of Beijing Financial Street, we can also review the history of the financial market and fiscal and capital market in China. This 30 years is a journey of continuously opening up to embrace the reform and innovation. We are focusing on the direction and then to the due direction, and we have experienced the pilot and to the full opening up. So in terms of QFI, RQFI, QDRI system has been set up, and to the connected to Hong Kong Macau connection between Shenzhen and Hong Kong and the bond connection, etc., have all been issued consecutively in terms of connecting the domestic market to the international market. You can see the improvement of the connectivity mechanism among different markets, and there are more and more investment objectives. In terms of financial market access, in year 2018, President Xi has announced on the annual conference of the Boao Asia Forum that China is about to further open up the limit or restrictions of the shares held by the foreign fund in the securities fund and the futures, and they gradually to the fully eliminated. The cost and the threshold has been further lowered for the foreign capitals to enter into Chinese market. We responded to the new policies immediately, and we have become the first security company with all types of the licenses among the foreign funded experts after the issuing of the new policy in December 2018. Since 2006, when UBS entered into Financial Street in Beijing, we have benefited from the construction and development of Financial Street. The efficiency has been increased and policies has been improved, and we are also following the path of China's economic development. With the joint efforts of financial streets and different authorities, we have glad to see that there are more and more opportunities for the business in China by the foreign-funded companies, and we believe that all of you present at financial streets in Beijing will be the same as me. Looking forward to the further opening up of the China financial market, looking forward to the QFI new regulations and to promote the further opening up of the derivatives. For example, the cross-border financial and wealth management products among the big Bay areas will be further expanded to other regions, and to give the right to the financial institutions with the other licenses. As the capital of China, Beijing's financial sector is the first pillar of the economy, and the National Financial Management Center will definitely play a bigger role in the future. In the process of building the high quality of the National Financial Management Center, we cannot overlook the power of technology and finance, and technology and digitalization has the important part of our daily life. Technology can empower the financial system and to make full use of the overlapping advantages. When improving internal system, we can also build a multi-layer financial ecosystem to promote the improved financial management system and process to guarantee the financial security, at the same time strengthening the supervision system, reshaping the investment powers, and to build the connectivities among people to create a better world. This is not just the mission of UBS, but also the solemn commitment made by UBS to Chinese market. We look forward that the Chinese market will further to be institutionalized, professionalized, will be more international and diversified. We hope that we can join hands together with all the different players in the market to build China's capital market. For the financial sector in China, the opening does not mean to bring in the capitals and the talents, but also to bring in the rules and concept of the matured market, to promote a reform with opening up, and to promote the sound competition, accelerating the connectivity of the Chinese market and the international market. We are fully confident about Chinese market development. The continuous open new economy and the sustainable development are all bringing new opportunities for our business, including the investment banking, the wealth management, and asset management. I believe that the financial street will be more integrated and coordinated with the Chinese financial sector to jointly promote the reform and development. Beijing Financial Street will continue to be the high-quality national financial management center. We are continuing to contribute ourselves to the sound development of the Chinese industry and jointly create a better future and the world. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Qian Yujun. Now let's give the floor to Ms. Li Wenhong, Director of Beijing Municipal Bureau of Local Financial Regulation and Supervision. Distinguished officials and dear guests, good afternoon. I myself is very glad to participate today's closing ceremony of the annual conference of the Financial Street Forum and the special event on the 30th anniversary of the Financial Street. I would like to take this opportunity that on behalf of our organization, I would like to extend the warm congratulations on the successful convening of the forum. And also, I would like to express heartfelt thanks to all the officials and the colleagues and friends from different sectors who has been provided care and support to the development of financial sectors in the capital. At the successful conclusion of the 20th National Congress of CPC, it is of great significance of the successful opening of the Financial Street Forum. In the last 3 days, the guests from different sectors have talked about their ideas about the macroeconomic policy and the financial policy, real economy and the financial service, financial market and financial development, digital economy and digital technology, the governance system and financial stability. They have an in-depth discussion and showed their special ideas, which has fully demonstrated that the Financial Street is a very important and authoritative platform to express China's ideas. So, as the National Financial Management Center, it has further outlined its unique position in serving the decision-making of supervision, promoting exchange, and deepening international cooperation. In the last 10 years, the financial assets volume of Beijing has increased from 95 trillion RMB to 119 trillion. The added value from the financial industry from this region has been increased to 20% of all the GDP in this region. The deposit and the loans scale has been over 30 trillion RMB, and the direct financing has reached the record high. The financial industry has become the largest pillar industry of China, of the capital's economy. We are seeing the major changes and major outcomes in the financial industry in the capital is mainly happening in this area, which is 2.69 square kilometers. Since the foundation in 1992, Financial Street has welcomed the joining of the management departments of the financial aspects of the State Council, the largest scale financial institution, the major financial infrastructure, and the financial industry organization. Recently, the Beijing Stock Exchange, the Beijing Financial Court, are all having their arrangement within the Financial Street. The deposit insurance company, the financial infrastructure database, and internet-connected settlement organizations have all been set up in the Financial Street. We also have launched the construction of the demonstration areas for the national levels fintech and professional service innovation. We've seen the different rules and policies being issued. The Financial Street Forum has been upgraded to a national levels forum. All these landmark events has further shown the charms of the Financial Street. The development and construction of Financial Street has actually the extraordinary journey for the financial sector of Beijing. In the last, you can see that the Financial Streets has been further unleashed its great potential. We are going to further strengthen the functions of the National Financial Management Center and to promote a high-quality development of the finance sector in the capital. The first one is to continuously improve the service ability to better serve and guarantee the implementation of the major financial strategy and policy. to shoulder our responsibility as the financial management center of the State Council and to better implement the financial decisions, standards, and the laws and regulations, payment settlement, statistics releasing, international cooperation, and financial security. We're also making sure that the financial street will make a full play of its role as platforms in four aspects, strengthening the supporting facilities development to provide more detailed and professional public service. Secondly, to continuously improve the structure and to improve the function of the financial market. Since the founding this center has been developed very well since the foundation of the Beijing Stock Exchange. We've seen that there are more and more innovative SMEs being gathered here. In the future, we are going to follow the instructions of the regulators. We're going to further support Beijing Stock Exchange to expand the scale of transaction and to enrich the transaction products and to improve the liquidity and activity of the market. We are going to make sure that we are going to promote high-quality development in Beijing of the investment banks, the security transaction asset management, and the entrepreneurship, investment, etc. Number 3, to further deepen the reform and opening up, we're going to promote the financial institutions to accelerate the digital transformation and green development, improve the ability to serve the real economy, support the demonstration area to be strong and to be good, and to build the new advantages in the era of digital development. We're going to support the leading role of the green finance to practice the concept of ESG.
To create this fair and consistent, stable and predictable business environment for Chinese and foreign financial institutions, and continuously improve the internationalization of the National Financial Management Center. The fourth is to keep the bottom line safety. A sound financial market order and a stable financial development environment are the basis for the construction for a National Financial Management Center. And it is also the bottom line for that Beijing's financial work must always adhere to. Under the guidance of the State Council's Financial Management Department, give full play to the advantages for these coordination between the central and the local organs, and to strengthen the coordination of the financial supervision, as well as strengthening the service guarantee for the safe operation for the financial management departments, financial institutions, and financial infrastructure, so that Beijing will always become the best area for financial security and stability. Dear leaders and dear guests, with the construction and development of the financial streets for the past 30 years as a new starting point, we will usher in a new stage of the high-quality construction for a National Financial Management Center. We sincerely welcome financial institutions and financial talents from home and abroad to come to Beijing for development, to join Beijing's financial family, share market opportunities, share development missions, and to jointly continue to write a new chapter in the National Financial Management Center. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much for your excellent remarks, Madame Li Wenhong. And next, let's have a keynote speech from Mr. Sun Shuo, Secretary of CPC Xicheng District Committee. Distinguished Chairman Mr. Mr. Chen, Mr. Shang, and Honorable Mayor Mr. Jin, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everyone. With the joint efforts and the joint support from various parties, the annual conference of the Financial Street Forum 2022 will come to an end. As the first major event after the 20th CPC National Congress, this annual conference is an important manifestation for implementing the target for building up the nation with the Chinese characteristics, and it also showcases our determination and the confidence for a coordination between the epidemic prevention and control and promoting economic development. In the past 3 days, we have focused on the financial cooperation and financial development facing the future, and to forge ahead towards a shared future. And we have proposed a large number of strategic proposals, advices, and suggestions, and have shared your own understandings in strengthening the functions for National Financial Management Center and provided your important support. And we will continue to actively analyze your suggestions and your remarks, and to try to seek to implement your ideas. And for this year's Financial Street Forum, we have upgraded the level of our conference and increased and improved the adoption of the technology. And among all the more than 400 guests from home and abroad, offline and online, we have invited 3 academicians and 1 Nobel Prize laureate, and we have generated positive outcomes. And we believe that it is pretty much important for the future development of the financial street. The successful organization for this forum cannot be separated from the huge support from the municipal government and the municipal CPC committee, and all financial institutions, and the participation from the theory and the practice circles. And as one of the sponsors of this event, I, on behalf of this CPC Sichuan District Committee, I would like to extend my gratitude to all walks of people who have supported and concerned about the development of this forum. And I actually am so lucky to become the participant, witness, and contributor to the development of this financial street. I have got a feeling that the financial street is not only a kind of geographical concept, it is more a kind of a landmark for the Chinese financial sector. The original thoughts of the financial streets come from one consortium for the strategic plans of the Sichuan district government in the year 1985. Just now we have heard the speech from Mr. Chen Yuan, and actually in that very meeting happened in the year 1985. In addition to Mr. Chen Yuan, we have the Vice Premier Liu He and Ma Kai. They were former leaders for the Sichuan district, and in that very meeting, we have started the discussion of setting up a special region in Sichuan district to be dedicated in the development of the financial sector. And after that, in the year 1998, then the chairman of the PBOC said that we can set up this financial street in this very region of the Sichuan district. And in the year 1992, we have paved a new way and laid the solid foundation. And for many of the guests that are with us offline and online, here and not present, have provided important advices and suggestions for the construction of the financial street. In the year 1994, and the important building called the Financial Street Building that started its construction in the year 1994, and that is now known as the Jingyang Building, which the BSE is located. And back then, in the year 1997, when these CSRC landed in the financial street, it actually came to the Jingyang Building. So then I made a joke that if we wanted to have the BSE should be located in the Jingyang Building. That is why, because the Jing means Beijing and Yang means the positive growth. And after that, in the year 1998, the CCB have located its headquarters in the financial streets. And later on, in the year 2003, and the CBRC and CIRC have located in the financial street. And in the year 2021, the PBOC the building north to the PBOC was completed, and the Foreign Exchange Administration Bureau have relocated to the financial street, and all the financial management and management departments have gathered here. So, in these 5-year plan from the year 2014 to 2020 have stated quite clear about the strategic positioning of the gathering and integration for the headquarters. And right now we have gathered and integrated a large number of the headquarters, as much as 1,900 financial institutions, and we can say that added with the Beijing Financial Court, and the functions of the financial street has been improved, and our ecosystem has been further developed. Looking in retrospect in the past 3 decades, with these careful guidance for with the guidance for the CPC Central Committee and the State Council, as well as with the huge support for the municipal government in the construction and development of Financial Street, have seen marvelous achievements, especially after the 18th CPC National Congress. The CPC Central Committee highlighted the cause for finance, and Chairman Xi Jinping personally declared the construction of the BSE, and to help with the two zones construction provided us with important momentum for the development. And the Financial Street right now has integrated various functions, including the decision making and monitoring in standard setting, asset management, and information sharing, as well as international cooperation. And it is playing a more and more important role in serving the national key strategies, national financial institution mechanism, and the four functional areas construction of the capital city, as well as the high-quality development in China. It has become one area with the most concentrated high-end industries, talents, and RMB assets, and the most prominent tax contributions. For the past 3 decades of development, I'd like to say thank you very much to all our friends and all the leaders from various levels who have been following and concerned about the construction of the Financial Street. And also I'd like to say thank you to all the practitioners in the Financial Street, no matter you are a supervisor, governor, a manager, and also the government officials, practitioners, and also the market entities and market intermediaries. Thank you very much for your huge efforts in the past 3 decades. And also, we'd like to say express our gratitude to all these constructors and builders for the Financial Street, and also thank you very much to the international organizations and intermediaries. Without your efforts, the Financial Street will be nowhere like this. Standing on the historical intersection of the two centennial goals, and we will continue to serve for the functional creation for the National Financial Assets Center, and we'll try our best to build up this high-caliber center for the asset management and introduce and cultivate more than 100 financial institutions and more than 100 leading talents for the financial sector, and to realize 100 listed companies of the financial sector, and to better lead the innovative, open, coordinated, and integrated development. And we should build the Financial Streets into an area with integrated financial functions, opened markets, and the first-class business environment, as well as the opening up to the world. And while we are connecting and integrating the different functions, we will look into the precise position of ourselves, that we have the finance, fintech, asset management, digital economy, plus the digital service and the new service sector. We are going to create more hidden champions, and to develop the modern service sector, modern financial sector that meets with the strategic status of the capital. And we will continue to complete this 4-in-1 service system and to largely promote the development of the Financial Street in the new era. And we would like to seize the opportunity of the construction of the two zones, and to carry out more pilot projects and pilot policies to land them in the Financial Streets, and to create a highland for opening up and cooperation. We take the opportunity for the development of fintech and digital technology, and integrate new industries and actively cultivate new momentums for development. And we focus on the improvement of business environment. We firmly believe that the first-class business environment will be the core competence for us. We will satisfy the requirement, and we satisfy the needs for the administrative organs and the financial institutions and financial talents, and meet their personalized needs, and also to increase and enhance the new advantages for the financial service brand. The world is looking at China, and China is influencing the world. As a kind of a national level forum, the Financial Street Forum have become an important platform that we publicize new policies and have conducted a discussion and negotiation with various parties. It have already become an important platform for our governance and also the international cooperation. And the influence and reputation of the forum have been continuously developed in the past several years. And this annual conference witnessed the gathering for all the talent and your interaction and exchanges and of your ideas and your mindset, and we will give full play to the role of the interconnection platforms, and to contribute our own efforts for the continuous development of the Financial Street. And of the past 3 days, we have witnessed some marvelous understandings of you, and the 3-day conference is about to come to an end. The Financial Street, after its 30th anniversary, is coming to a new historical start point. We will continue to implement the strategic layouts of these 20 CPC National Congress from the CPC Central Committee, and to place our emphasis on the real economy, and to showcase our new responsibilities, liabilities, and our new momentum while we are carrying out the important mission for serving the real economy. The Financial Street is as small as only 2.59 square kilometers, but Financial Street is also pretty big because the financial orders and the new momentums, the vitalities of the financial sector will be publicized and will be communicated to the world. This Financial Street will be not only the Financial Street for Beijing City, but will also be a Financial Street for China and the world. In the development of the capital city in the new era, in the promotion of the historical rejuvenation of the Chinese nation, and also amid the process for the economic restructuring in the world, we believe that the Financial Street will have more say and contribute more power. And I hope everyone to continue to support the construction and development of the Financial Street, and we welcome more financial institutions and financial talents to gather here in the Financial Streets and to jointly start a new journey with us. Last but not least, I wish to meet you again and to have a reunion in the 2023rd annual conference of the Financial Street Forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, the wonderful sharings of Mr. Sun Shu, and thank you very much for the wonderful sharing of all the speakers. Distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, the development of the Financial Street has witnessed the development of the financial reform and development in China, and many of the people from this financial sector overseas also have sent their greetings to us. Let's enjoy.
下午好. Good afternoon, and thank you for the honor to join other distinguished guests to address this year's Financial Street Forum, an increasingly important venue to discuss the world economy. And congratulations on the 30th anniversary of Beijing Financial Street.
Congratulations on the 30th anniversary of the founding of the Beijing Financial Street. I wish the conference a great success.
Congratulations on the 30th anniversary of the Beijing Financial Street Forum. I wish the conference great success.
Congratulations on 30 years.
It gives me great pleasure to congratulate everyone on the 30th anniversary of the founding and development of the Beijing Financial Street. And I'd like to wish this conference, of which I'm very proud to be a part, every success.
I'd like to congratulate the organizers on the 30th anniversary of the establishment of the Financial Street that deepens global exchange on the development of the financial markets.
It is my great pleasure to speak at this year's Beijing Financial Street Forum. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers for the invitation and congratulate the Beijing municipal government and the organizers of the forum for the 30th anniversary of the commencement and development of the Beijing Financial Street.
Distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, the success convening of the forum is the joint efforts of every one of us. Please, on behalf of the organizers of the annual conference of the forum, I would like to thank the undertakers of the conference, including PBOC, Xinhua News Agency, the Regulatory Commission for the Banking and Insurance System, and the Foreign Exchange Administration of China. I would also like to thank Beijing Bank and the Bank of Beijing and ICBC, Everbright Bank, and the China Life Insurance. And let's all of us working together to pursue our dream, and I would like to announce the successful conclusion of the closing ceremony of the annual conference of the Financial Street Forum in 2020. Looking forward to see you next time in the annual conference of the Financial Street Forum in 2023.